Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 1st to the 15th, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Virgo, September 1st to the 15th, 2021, Virgo, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Lovers, Gemini energy. If we have Gemini within our natal chart, that's going to be coming through very powerfully as a grounding, a rooting factor for us. And then we have Sagittarius, Temperance. So if we have Sagittarius within our chart, that's going to be also coming through very profoundly as a grounding energy. Now what's very interesting is that these are sister signs, so there's going to be this sense of the grounding energy of us playing off each other, helping to balance, but also digging deeper, always asking questions, wanting to know why. That's going to be the basis of us during this time for our career and for our financial success. Then we have the Seven of Swords reversed and the Five of Pentacles. There's something here about poverty, and we're going to get into that because that's very interesting. In our emotional self, we have the Seven of Cups, dreams being realized, and we have the High Priestess. This is something that has been blocked for us before, so there's some sort of breakthrough here. It brings us to the Four of Pentacles. It brings us to the vampiric energy that has kept us from making the money that we want, and it brings us to the Eight of Pentacles. It's like my hard work is paying off. There is success here. So this is really cool. Let's look at the energy that we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Virgo needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides. This one right here, the Lord. It's thinking that there's only one way to power, and it's also being very enticed by power, and that's been something that has gotten us before. It's kind of like we saw people and they were successful because they demanded the success, or because they kind of like robbed, cheat, cheated and stole. Yeah, there's something about that here where they weren't on the up and up, and it's like, well, who cares as long as I'm still making it? Like, who cares if that person got kind of like swindled out of their life savings? As long as I'm still making it, as long as I'm pushing forward, it doesn't matter. And there's going to be something here about these people, this kind of mentality being very alluring, not the robbing, the cheating, and the stealing, but the sense of, I'm going to make it no matter what. And we have to step back and say, you know what, that's not me. I need to be grounded. I need to be centered. I need to be knowing how I'm moving forward. And there's then going to be the sense of, I'm releasing what hasn't brought me success and what has brought me anger and frustration. And it brings us then to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And it's flexibility. It's the sacral chakra and the third eye chakra coming into play. It's like, I need flexibility within myself to be able to visualize, to be able to see the power that moves me forward. So with the third eye chakra, visualization comes forward, and that's something that we kind of mock in our modern age. We think, oh my gosh, I've read The Secret, I've heard all the stories about how visualization, manifestation works, and it doesn't. But here's the thing, is that it does. It just doesn't work quickly, and it takes a heck of a lot more time, and there's a lot more to it than just, visualize it and it will happen. When we visualize, our mind does not know the difference between make-believe and reality, which that's just period, end of discussion. When we're daydreaming, when we're thinking about things, our mind doesn't know the difference between make-believe and reality. And so when we're visualizing something, we're setting up the pathways within our mind to say, this is real. And so when our mind thinks this is real, when we start to act as if we can move forward in prosperity and success, as we start to act as if I can open up that business, or I can get that raise, or I can make this much money, a month, a year, we start to see it within ourselves. And then we start to be able to do it. We start to be able to move ourselves forward in a certain way. Whereas if we didn't visualize, if we thought it was just completely always impossible, we'd never be able to get there. The flexibility here with the sacral chakra. Now the sacral chakra is interesting because it's where creative energy is held. Now that helps us in our career because it doesn't matter if we're a mathematician or if we're, an interpretive dancer. We need our creative aspect to be able to have that spark, to be able to have that inspiration that other people don't, so that we're able to break through where others get stuck, where others can't express themselves the way that they need to. All right. So we have the creativity of the sacral chakra. We have the sexual energy of the sacral chakra, which powers us, keeps us in alignment. But we also then have in the sacral chakra all the negative energy from this life and from past lives. And so when we're trying to embrace our creativity, when we're trying to embrace our life energy, we get hit by all the insecurities from this life and from past lives. So it's like, well, how the heck do I move forward? How the heck do I get to where it is that I want to be? And it's by saying, I see what has stopped me, and I'm stretching it out. I'm stretching out the limitations I once had. It's kind of like when you start stretching and you're just not that flexible, right? And then you start little by little by little, you see that your body can move a little bit more, little stretches. And then it's like visualization. It's like all of a sudden you can visualize more. All of a sudden you can stretch further. And that's going to be what happens during this time. If we exercise our sacral chakra and we exercise our third eye chakra, we start to see that where we once had limitations, now we're kind of stretching out those kinks within us, and we're able to push further. It leads us to lovers. It leads us to understanding that there's more than one path forward. It leads us to temperance. It leads us to balance within ourselves. It leads us to falling in love, into the transformation of harmony of us. And that gives us a new idea. It's like there isn't just one path. There isn't just one way forward. We ask so many questions during this time. We want so many different answers. We want to understand all different points of view. We're not saying it has to be just like this. We're saying, let me see, let me develop, let me understand, let me become. And it moves us then to our inner selves, where we're pushing the boundaries within our rooted self to say, what is it that I want to succeed with in my life? What is it that I think of success as? What is it that holds me back? Is it the voice of a caregiver saying I'll never amount to anything, or always yelling, about money? Is it the voice of a lover who I absolutely adored, but who had a poverty mentality to them, and they gave me it because, I was so in love with them, and they always yelled about the money that I spent, and, this and that, and it scarred you. And it just does scar. If you've ever been in that situation with an abusive partner and they just pick apart everything and rip you down, it's a scarring, traumatic event. And if that person who rips you down is a caregiver, if that person is a lover, or, a friend, a family member, it does not matter. It moves us to the Five of Pentacles. It moves us to this poverty mentality. And it says, enough is enough. I'm done being out in the cold. I'm done, not seeing that there is a place of safety and security for me to embrace wealth, prosperity, and abundance. And it doesn't come from lies, because I've had enough of the lies. I've had enough of the lies and only gathering up certain information. What I see here is it all. What I see here is every hurtful, hateful word that has kept me held back. What I see is every doubt, every fear, every thing that has made me thought that I walk almost completely by myself. And enough is enough. I start now to move from the Seven of Swords to the Seven of Cups. The seven here that is doubt and fear to the Seven of Dreams. And the repeat of the number 7 is that I have to be very honest with myself. That's one of the things that the Gemini-Sagittarius combination really brings. It's like there needs to be this honesty, and this diving deeper and deeper and deeper into what we want and what we need and where we're headed leads us to this place of dreams. What dreams haven't we been honest with ourselves that we want? What dreams have held us back, made us doubt ourselves, because they were so big and we felt so small. This is a time where we're breaking down limitations, where we're opening up doors, and it brings us to the High Priestess. It brings us to this insight into ourselves that says, I can't lie to myself anymore. The veil is being lifted from my eyes. Any lie that I told myself is being torn away. Any doubt that I have towards myself, but also with others. It's like I'm seeing people for who they truly are, not how they want me to see them, not how they want me to perceive them, but who they truly are and how I truly want to walk forward. The High Priestess gives us insight and ideas and a bit of psychic development, psychic powers, profound intuition that can be overwhelming for us if we fully embrace it. It's the dreams of the heart come forward, and one of the reasons why, Virgo, we've kind of step back from our dreams and step back from what we truly wanted is that it's a little bit too intense. It's profoundly intense during this time. And so we need to look at that with an opened integrity, with a powerful, passionate self. And it leads us to the Four of Pentacles in the public arena because we're being so open within our hearts, because we're being so honest within ourselves. The Four of Pentacles comes and it says, this is the vampiric energy. This is the energy that has held you back. This is the energy that has caused doubt, fear, negativity, hurt, pain, disappointment. This is what has gotten you so far and then made you stuck. And because the veil has been lifted from the heart, and I'm seeing things with openness, with honesty, with determination and focus, I see this in the public arena. And as we see this, as we call ourselves out, as we call others out, as we start to embrace our power and our determination, as we start to embrace our focus and our development, it leads us to the Eight of Pentacles, which says, I've been building something extraordinary my whole entire life. And this is the payoff time. This is a time where I start to put into action what I want, where I start to say that I've put in my 10,000 hours, that I've, cultivated my craft. I am moving me forward. People start to take notice. But what's more important here, Virgo, is that we start to take notice of ourselves, of what we can accomplish, of what we want to accomplish, of who we are, of where we want to be, of how the doors open. We take note of ourselves, and nothing will make us step back into a place of doubt and into a place of fear, because we're taking away that vampiric energy and saying no more. We can just do a little exercise where you can place your feet firmly on the floor. You can go outside, stand outside if you want to really embrace the earth, and just put your hands on your thighs and breathe and call in wealth. Just call in how you want to embrace wealth within your life. It could be a huge house. It could be just being able to pay all your bills and being able to be happy and go on vacations and, go out to eat without worrying about things. What is it that wealth is for you? And then what voices come up in your head that make you not able to get that? And you know what? Shove them through the soles of your feet into the earth and say, no, 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 no. I give this to the earth to be purified, and I let myself grow in power and in success. Our subconscious chakra energy not chakra energy, but our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Prince of Swords. We're going to be so wanting to move forward that we're going to be very enticed and intoxicated by people who just go for it. People who don't really have the best plans, but who are like, that's it, I'm going after it, I'm done waiting, I'm done, daydreaming, I'm going for it. And that's it. That speaks to us on just like such a spiritual level during this time. But we want to be really aware of people who are just charging forward for the sake to charge and don't really have a destination in mind, don't really have an understanding of where they're going, because that's going to cause chaos for them, but also for us if we get involved in it. Our subconscious chakra energy is truth, the third chakra. What is true for us and what is lies? What is balancing us and what is causing us to be out of harmony with ourselves? We embrace truth. We look at our truth. We look at the truth that we need to speak to ourselves, the honest conversations that we need to have, maybe with others, but mostly with us. We embrace the third chakra, and that opens the door quite powerfully and quite extensively. It brings us to our root chakra. Not root chakra, but root energy during this time. And that is our subconscious root energy, is the Fool. It's time to embrace something new. The thing that I love about the Fool, and the thing that I always say with the Fool, is that every single hero is a fool first. Every single innovator is a fool first. It doesn't mean that we're reckless, but what it means is that we take that leap of faith. For everybody who lives so carefully that they barely exist, we are diving for it. We're going after more. And we're saying, it's time. It's time to call forward the extraordinary. It's time to follow the path forward to success and happiness by taking risks and by believing in ourselves. And it doesn't matter what people say. It's time to jump. And it brings us to our subconscious inner self, which is again the Fool, going over the chaos of the waters, knowing that this is the path that we have to follow. This is the calling of our souls. It leads us to wishes. It leads us to tenacity. It leads us to success. It brings us to our subconscious emotional self. And this is the world. It opens up the world to us. We start to see things moving forward in ways that we hadn't. We start to see us moving forward in ways that we could barely imagine. The world opens and we step through, not afraid, but curious. And we step through with this tenacity and this insight and these ideas. And we say, this is where I need to be. The world calls to us and we answer. And as we answer the world's call, what we find is that old hurts and old pains will come back from when we tried to step through. When we were younger, when we went for that promotion and we didn't get it, from when we tried and we failed. But we don't let that close the door to our world, to what we desire. What we do is we open up with honesty and integrity to the dreams that we've put on the shelf. And we start to say, this is my time. I don't have to be, known by the whole entire world. What I have to be is a person who claims their space within the world, stands proudly and beautifully in their own lives and talents. And it moves us then to our subconscious public arena. And that's the Four of Swords. Honor the pain that you have been through, the hardships, the disappointment. Give yourself time to rest and recuperate. Don't keep pushing and pushing and pushing, thinking that everything will work if I'm just fierce enough. Take time, connect, and let yourself move forward in love. And let yourself heal. Make sure you get good night's sleeps, Virgo. But also make sure you honor the path that you have been on. And not think of it as things should have been easier. I shouldn't have had to have suffered this way. The suffering is what brings us our humanity. Because if everything is always perfect, then we do not understand the struggles of others. But when things are hard, it opens up our eyes. When there is struggle, when there is pain, and we learn that there is more struggle and pain in the world than we could ever truly voice, that brings compassion, that brings wisdom, and that brings spirit closer and closer in our lives. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the possibilities that are to come. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo.